This is a little wish list roundup. These are just games that
Yeah.
we recently found and added to our Steam wish list or something, right?
Yeah. This was so hard. I only wanted to pick two because you only picked two.
I picked two.
So I had to sift through my nonsense of my fucking wish list.
Oh, this was hard for you to whittle it down to two.
Yeah, man. I had goddamn, right now we're looking at I have 2,084 games on my wish list. I had to find two, but I went through recently added, so it was a little easier.
So that's what I had done is like there were a couple games that I saw recently and I was like, hey, this is neat. Let me look at these. The first one, I got these up over here. First one is a game called, and I hope I say this right, A Fighter's Nova Mindara. This is an RPG, but what if the battle system was a 2D fighting game? What if battle system was Street Fighter instead of an RPG battle system? It's not turn-based. It's not an action RPG. It's an RPG overworld where you bump into an enemy and you start a battle, and it is a fighting game. Or like, it actually like more reminds me for some reason of like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. But I thought this was cool. I like the idea. It reminded me of Dinnermancer has friend of the show Dinnermancer. He has streamed Soul Calibur. And Soul Calibur has this tactics mode, right?
Yes.
But when you get into a fight in the tactics mode, it goes to a Soul Calibur fight. This kind of reminded me of that, where I was just like, games that aren't fighting games using fighting game systems in combat, and I was like, that's cool. I could see this work.
This is really interesting, just from also in my brain from a I don't know how they got here, but there are a couple classic RPGs that are turn-based, but the way they proposition their turn-based are stringing together fighting game combos. I think one of the earlier Valkyrie profiles is similar to that. And this just feels like the pure evolution of it, where instead of random encounter and you do a fighting game combo adjacent kind of, but turn-based, and now it's just let's just do it. Have the bandwidth, the memory to just make a fighting game as our random encounters.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, now we're looking at frame data in an RPG.
It obviously being a single player game, I'm very curious to see if it will have any form of PvP, just because fighting games I feel naturally want some sort of PvP, but it doesn't necessarily need to. It could just be actually play solo or with a friend in local co-op. Curious.
Yeah, I mean, so like we see here, it says story driven, explosive tag team combat. That's every encounter is a fully playable fighting game match. Switch between characters mid-fight. Relationship matters. Blah blah blah. I have heard of combo doubles. Yeah. Define your destiny. Key features. Nothing in here says competitive multiplayer, right? And that might just be a scope thing, I imagine, for this team. It's just the scope and then you have to balance things. But the idea here is cool that you get these characters that you will upgrade their fighting game maneuvers throughout the match, and like we'll get like different combos. You'll unlock different combo strings. You'll unlock different special moves or whatever. But then I also just wonder if you'll unlock things like like remove a frame from this move.
Yeah,
add more,
like a lot of different ways with like how you want to
add more hit stun.
And I think like that's probably the biggest example for why maybe you won't have like some form of competitive play. It's just like you're changing the skills. You're like completely customizable, like possibly frame data, even if it's not just like, oh, you have a different heavy attack, and if you use this heavy attack, with this light attack, then maybe you can kind of create an infinite. We don't want to balance that for competitive play. We just want you to have like a story mode that feels like you're making some sort of fighting game progression.
Yeah. But it seems cool.
It does.
That's why I wanted to bring this. Jay,
big fan of genre fusion.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about Combo Devils today, but I'll talk about it sometime, I'm sure, because it is on my radar. Next up, I'll talk about Pin Crawl.
Yeah.
We all love a good pinball game. This is described as a dungeon crawling pinball roguelite. The thing that like drew me to this is I follow the pixel artist online.
Shout out.
Because the pixel art in this game I think is really cool.
What's the pixel artist's name?
Frick if I remember off the top of my head.
Damn. You were so close to having a perfect just shout out to this
hold
person
on, let's
follow.
See. They did the pixel art for Jack Move. Frick, I can't remember.
Yeah, shout out to Jack Move.
Dreamer Brain. But yeah, they made this game Jack Move. Also, this is where I found the pixel artist, and I can't remember their name, but I like their pixel art, and so this popped up, and it's also pinball. So I was like, ooh, I like pinball and this art. And I just think it's neat. It's I like that it looks like traditional-ish pinball boards. A lot of like newer pinball games that aren't just like, hey, we're pinball, don't do this, and that's fine. But like Yoku's Island.
Yeah, I was right about to mention Yoku.
Yoku is a pinball game. Like a pinball Metroidvania, basically. It has like a big sprawling pinball world where like different sections of it have like little pinball mechanics and whatnot. And then there's the two other pinball crazy games that I can't remember the name of. One of them is a sci-fi one of them is scary.
Yeah, the horror one, yeah.
But those ones are more similar to like a traditional pinball table, but just like they scale up, like you're like climbing up it basically. This is like
Demon's Tilt is one of them.
Demon's Tilt, yeah. This is more just like, here's a little mini pinball table, and it's got some challenges, and just like beat the score or whatever. And as you progress, you'll get more challenging boards, and you'll get abilities and whatnot. And it just, I don't know, it looks cool. That's all I wanted to say.
It even has like a little Slay the Spire like map set to it, like you beat a level and then you get your event or whatever. There's a lot. I mean, like honestly, just dungeon crawling roguelike pinball just sells itself. And, like, if you are a pinball fan, I think there's a lot of ways. Like in the trailer, it shows like an upgrade or whatever that a very classic pinball. It's like multi-ball.
Yep.
I can see that being really like serotonin gaining. Like it can be just very like, oh yes, like this, I feel great, we're just eliminating the entire screen kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's this which I thought was interesting. So like, it's hard. This is stop, but you see it maybe better in the trailer where like you flip your paddle. You can like use a spell or an ability for like an attack, and you flip your paddles to shoot out stars, and they go to where your ball is. So like you shoot your ball at like towards something and then attack it with all your stars. I don't know. It seems neat.
It's cool, and you might like it. Also, yeah, like you have like a little active ability as well as like maybe some passive stuff going on too.
Yeah.
I added it to my wish list.
Yeah, it looks cool. I don't know. Those are my 2 games.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first game. It's called. I just closed it.
What the heck?
We'll talk about Dreams on a Pillow first, I guess.
Oh, okay. We'll make everyone. I'll stand on my soapbox first. I picked this game mostly out of one, I'm interested, but also because I'm out here wanting to yap about life. Dreams on a Pillow. Dreams on a Pillow is a video game that is coming out, made by a solo developer who lives in Palestine. And their whole bit is they've been a on and off again game developer, because there's not really a Palestinian community for game developers. There's not a lot of support for that. He does it out of passion, and then he has to like go and like do whatever he can to feed for his family. This game is like born out of this like his like desperate need to like just show like just a piece of like art, and like this like dream of what, you know, Palestine like has looked like and like could look like and should look like. And it's just a little like a classic adventure game, very Sierra era.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. It looks very much like a 1998 Sierra PC like game,
and it's just like I think it like we live in a world where more often than not anyone can make a video game, and I think that's very empowering. And to make a video game while in like you still see this in places of war like Ukraine and whatnot, like making a video game while like everything else is against you because that's your artistic expression is just like really powerful to me. And this has been on my radar for a bit. No official release date. He doesn't have official release date when I read his interview. He's just trying to make it as much as he can while also like, you know, living and whatnot. But it looks really good.
Yeah.
This is the serious one. I guess it makes sense that we start with the serious one.
And then this one, bring this over. This is Truck-kun is supporting me from another world.
Man, this is wacky and fun. This is one, obviously making fun of isekai anime. But 2, the whole idea is that you play as in isekai anime. The running gag is that a truck runs over the boy or the girl, and then they get transported to another world, right?
Yeah.
So you play as the truck driver who, like, you own the expression is you own a soul debt to the buff isekai elf girl living in your head. You are running over people to respawn as monsters, so that she can level up. So there's part idle game happening like below you, like kind of intermental, like she's having a fighting game experience that you don't control, like an RPG or whatever. Well, you are just driving around like crazy, just trying to like isekai people to kill them with quotes. I think it's insane. It's silly. It's funny. It's parodying, not to make fun of Dream Mortals, my least favorite anime genre. But I think
Dr. Immortals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. That makes way more sense than Dream Mortals. But
it's okay to be wrong. He says, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that there's really the only good one is .hack sign. Anyway,
you do love .hack.
I do love .hack, and it is funny that my favorite one of my favorite animes of all time is an isekai, despite how much I complain about them. Regardless, to the game, this just seems dumb and fun. It seems like kind of like a time attack, old school, like you run around. It's a Crazy Taxi, but you're hitting people instead of bringing them to where they want to be.
I do think that's very funny that they like were able to find a way to like like rationalize like, no, you're hitting people with the truck. That's the goal. You have, and you're not even killing them. You're just sending them to a fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
You're just sending them to their to go find their buff elf girls.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's silly. It's fun.
If you scroll down on the page, they have like some like showing a little bit more of like the conversations and stuff that might happen and the zaniness of it.
This is very much. I didn't really super notice it, but you said it's like very Crazy Taxi. Like this screen here speaks Crazy Taxi to me, where it's like it gives you some goals. 60 seconds left with the arrow pointing in a direction, and then the little incremental buff girl at the bottom there. This seems silly, stupid. I like it.
Yeah, it's just like, to me, it's such a like, they had an idea and they fucking ran with it. They were like, we have a bit like that might probably start as a joke, and I love that.
Yeah,
it also takes place in the USA, I guess. Wenville, USA. That can't be a real town.
Probably not. I like that the.
Oh, and it has a ska soundtrack.
Great. Energetic ska-inspired soundtrack by award-winning composer David Mason, who has done Dredge, Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3.
Don't think of Dredge.
What about you? But you do think of Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3.
I've never heard of this game before in my life. I gotta look this up.
We're looking at it real quick. I might have heard of this, but we're looking up Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3. It looks like, so there's also a Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 1 re-raptored.
But is there a 2?
So I think there's a 3. And then they came out with a remake of the non-existent 1.
3's also a match 3, which, 3. I don't have a joke other than that.
That's what the 3 stands for, is that it's match 3. Nothing wants to load. Nothing wants to load on this game for some reason.
We've broken Steam.
It's all... Oh, there's the match 3. Oh, that's a cute puppy.
Yeah.
Interesting. What the heck?
Man, indie games out here being indie games. It describes itself as a survival horror comedy RPG Metroidvania with match 3 mechanics.
Okay.
Which is words. Like, that is just buzzwords, but hell yeah.
Match DNA bubbles in an underground lab to keep your psychic clone from invading your mind and turning you into a cannibal.
Wait, did the video start loading for you yet? The first one?
No.
Oh man, you got to click on it one more time, just see if it will work. Because I got mine to work, and there is one of those tiny little dinosaurs that like...
Oh, a compy?
That group of... Like the ones that kill the girl in Lost World.
Yeah, that's the compy.
Has just a pistol. Has just a fucking Glock.
God damn it! Please, let me boot up actual Steam over here. Hold on. What the heck is this game called? I copied it.
Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3.
An error occurred while I searched for that game.
What the heck?
Is Steam broken? It's just that game. It's just that game is broken for me. Is my internet broken? Hello? I'm on the internet?
I can hear you.
All right, well, Steam encountered a problem. Maybe Steam is...
hate to see it. This silly little dinosaur with the Glock, it's great. I don't know if this is a Glock. I'm not a gun person.
Go.
Alex is probably here, and if he ever sees this gun, we'll be like, that's not a Glock.
Let's just look at these pictures real quick. What is...
Me too, Tiana. I also love indie games. They're just out here doing things.
Just being weird. What is Lil Wiggle? Enjoy being the tallest creature currently living. Destroy all green symbols. Okay. You gotta fight this zombie T-Rex in the match 3.
I'm gonna add this to my
This guy's
my list.
buff, a buff Utah Raptor. Sure.
Although I think Steam is slightly down for me too, because it's not saying, it's showing me as I'm signed in, but it's also showing me as I'm not signed in.
Okay. Maybe Steam's messed up right now.
You
That
hate
means
to
we
see
move
it.